Hotep Senuhena Senut Itiren Ishakandu Kukemet. I hope you're doing well. I'm on lunch break, so I want to see what's up with my peeps. I've shared the live stream on YouTube, and now I'm sharing it on Twitter. And then I want to see what's up. Feel free to call in, particularly new callers. Don't be shy. Come and say what's up. And some of you also know about the channel. You go way back, like years ago, 10 years ago, and so on. Then holler and feel free to let me know what's up so we can catch up for a little while. Now, the quality, put the highest quality there. Okay. Thank you for whoever put that thumbs up. I don't really say that anymore, but it should be a reflex, really. So, call link. No, that's not the call link. This is a call link. So, feel free in the chat or by calling. You know what's funny is that uh, that fake dude who exemplified the Pan African fraud. Now, it was said that he went to jail, and we have all kind of people, but they are all anonymous and unidentified, who come in with all kind of excuses to defend the dude. Now, him having gone to jail for scamming, you know, that's one thing. But he has scammed for 30 years plus. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, he was reported that he even scammed Theophilo Benga. So I'm waiting. Apparently, we might have some news article, but that's not in the English speaking world. That's in the French speaking world. But what's crazy is those people making excuses. I mean, we hear it all. So for rapists and pedophiles, we hear excuses. So when people make excuses for rapists and pedophiles, scamming is a small thing to them. Now, let me check the sound on my end. Now, okay, sounds good. The last time I shared the link to tell the people that I was live streaming, but I did inform the people 15 years, I'm sorry, 15 years, 15 minutes prior that I was expecting some callers. And if there was no caller, I will put an end to the live stream, which is what I did after a few minutes because at that time, the time was limited. So it's not the same now. I can wait longer than 15 minutes, but I might change my mind. You know, it's up to you. Feel free to take advantage. You know, I would really like to hear from you. But some people draw us back on the real. Some people really draw us back because many of us have been striving for many years to wake up our people, and then you have some slick ones who want to draw our people back into the belief system that we don't have anything to that doesn't have anything to do with us, that we did not originate. So I'm wondering, where is the progress as a people? I mean, there's so many things I could say, but when I see those people who talk about, well, this is our way of life, a traditional way of life, and then they are all about the Abrahamic belief system, you might as well not just say we have our way of life and tradition. You know, what's the point talking about African tradition or Black original school of thoughts, and then you're still an Abrahamic thing. You have noticed that these Abrahamic believers, they are not into any fence writing whatsoever. They stick to their belief system. They are not all inclusive. They are not a melting pot. They don't take a salt there, pepper there, that vegetable, that meat, that fish, and then stir it up and give you something that there isn't even a name for. Something that you don't even know how you will digest. You understand what I'm saying? So feel free, brothers and sisters, take advantage, take advantage, take advantage. Because I don't think I will be live streaming like I used to when it's evening time in Europe, which is like late afternoon in America. Right now, it's probably the morning time in America, where the majority of my audience is. Because I've realized, I noticed that there's more participation when I'm live streaming during this time. There's not much progress on the real. Fence riding isn't taking us anywhere. Some people betray for money or benefits. But what is the result? What is the end result? See, the sad thing is that, like I said, them, and those two statements do not match. You understand what I'm saying? If it's death before dishonor, then you don't roll with your enemy. Now, Alex Little says peace. I hope you're doing well, sister. I cannot really tell what the new avatar is. Okay, rocking the hat. All right, Alex Little. Watch her channel, brothers and sisters. Our sister is an artist. Um, my two favorite songs, um, Broken. Oh, is it Broken Roads? And Pretty Baby. Alexito says, just saying hi real quick, right quick. Getting my kids ready for school, but have a great day. Thank you. Same to you, sister. Herunefer Senet E. Oh, by the way, I would never say it enough. For those who want to learn the Medu Nature, then I'm giving Medu Nature classes. So you can contact me there, that email address, or you can just register. It's up to you. Register. Thank you very much. Dua Senet. Dua Senet E. I appreciate that. Oh, she's telling me to fix the sound because I'm going in and out. Let me listen to my end. Let me listen to my end now. Oh, she's telling me to fix the sound because I'm going in and out. But apparently on my end is fine. Sometimes when you listen to live streams on your end, it's breaking up, but it's not the same on other people's end. On my end is fine. And sometimes as well, when I was going through some live stream, it will break up. But then when the stream is over and I listen to the video, then the sound is okay. So sometimes it depends. But thank you for warning me. So it allowed me to check. Now we have Arit Ma'at as well. Hotep Senet E. How you doing? She wrote Hotep Sen. It has been a while. I hope all is well with you and your family. Yes, the family is great. Family is great. And well, wifey told me that she was about to listen to the stream. So I have to behave. And everything's okay so far. I hope you're doing well. You know, it's still the same thing on my end. You know, um, still giving the classes and still learning, still learning. And it's good to hear from you. It's been a while as well. Alex Little as well. It's been a while. It's been a while. So just for that alone, I'm glad to have made the live stream. Even if I'm not saying just because it was a donation from Alex Little, but just to hear from both of you, you know, it's good. It's good. And brothers and sisters, I don't have much time, so I will have to return to work because indeed I work full time. You know, I don't make a living being on YouTube, so I'm not saying that so you feel sorry for me or I don't want you to sound like I'm complaining, but I'm just trying to say that I'm on lunch break. So take advantage, brothers and sisters. Some of you have never called to say hello or I never wrote any message. So if you don't feel like saying what's up, if you have any questions, then feel free. And you see, Aritma Art wrote, I am sending a donation via Cash App today. Thank you very much, sisters. But you know what, sisters? Um, because now I have this YouTube thing to join. Um, well, it depends. Maybe the middle nature is not for everybody, you know. So, but just for the record, just in case you didn't know, I have this new thing now. Where you register to the channel. It's like what is it? Um, it's less than $20 per month. You know, like maybe $17, $18, and then I do middle nature classes, like group classes. Now the lucky ones, like uh, like one sister that you know well, because people have not registered yet, then she gets a one-on-one class. But when there will be more people who have the same level, I mean, we'll organize. I don't want to be too long-winded with that, but you can get the classes and also the uh, members-only videos. See, but mainly it's for the mental nature classes. So, brothers and sisters, don't be scared of the mental nature. What I would say is that for those who envision or those who are planning on or considering taking classes with me, the first middle nature class will be the most difficult one because I'll go to a great deal of the grammar. It's a very thorough introduction, but after that it goes smooth. It goes smooth, really. So from the first class, you will know if it's for you or not. Michael Bryan wrote, "What principle of math is for today?" Hotep. I never make any live stream to talk about one principle of math. It says question and answers, but no matter what the title says, always feel free, brothers and sisters. So if you have any questions, then feel free. If you have any comments, any statements, then feel free. If you want to call in, then feel free. And Arit Ma'at wrote, my first middle nature class was awesome. Indeed, and our sister, she made that testimonial that you hear at the end of the live stream. You know, I love teaching the middle nature so much. I mean, trust me, the first class and reading that sentence, I think it's a good thing to read a short sentence after the first class. I think it's good. Hey, we have Anthony Harris in the place to be. What's up, brother? You know that sister never came back. And when I listened to the stream again, she actually said, first she said, "Oh, you're asking me a question, but then you don't want me to answer," and then she said, "Okay, I'm out." So it's not like uh, the connection cut off or something, and then she didn't want to call back because she was upset or whatever, but she decided to bounce. So it is what it is. But for those who don't know what we're talking about, we had a sister who talked about the Queen of Sheba. So I said to her, "There's no attestation for the Queen of Sheba." And our brother Anthony Harris concurred with me and told her, "Well, we don't have any attestation." But our sister, I forgot her name, but if you're there, if you're listening, you're welcome. And if you listen when it's not the stream, you're always welcome to come back to call again. She mentioned, well, we have mentions of Queen of Sheba here and there and there and there. A mention of someone is not an attestation of someone. Now, Anthony Harris wrote, "I knew she wouldn't." Someone being mentioned. Spider-Man is mentioned. Batman is mentioned. The Avengers is meant. They are mentioned. That's not an attestation. You understand what I'm saying? And this is not just about that sister, but just our people in general. We tend to believe that some things are established as long as it comes from the religious writing. But there's a field called archaeology, there's a field called history, And archaeology and history, they're kind of close. They kind of go together, don't they? You know what I'm saying? I do. Okay, thank you, Sister. I read my ad to let me know there was no sound. Now I will check. It should be okay now. Oh, still no sound. I don't believe it. Oh, okay, okay, hold on. Yes, it's okay now, isn't it? Okay, great. So now you should hear me, brothers and sisters. Thank you for letting me know. So I don't know when the sound stopped, but you can ask any historian of your choice. You can get their contact details from university websites and ask them for attestation for the Queen of Sheba. You understand what I'm saying? Any documents that validates or indicates that she was a historical person. So Aridma wrote good now. Thank you very much. So besides that, I was talking about Bart D. Ehrman, who for a good decade or maybe 2 decades, but let's say around a decade probably, he talked about how unreliable the biblical writings are, particularly when it comes to anything that has to do with the historicity or validity of the authors of the Bible. the main characters of the Bible, but particularly the authors. But then he kind of did a strange U-turn with his book called Did Jesus Exist? And he was like, well, if we want to assume that Jesus did not exist because we don't have any records, and we could say the same about Julius Caesar and so many other people. Actually, let me just be clear. I might have made a mistake. He mentioned Pontius Pilate. I don't remember if he mentioned Caesar, but he gave several examples, several names. You understand what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let me see, because nobody called, so I guess I have to flow, right? So I'm just gonna flow. Let me see. Okay. But at one point he mentions Julius Caesar. Now he says, I will read this paragraph. With history, though, we don't have the luxury of being able to repeat an event once it happens. And so we look for other kinds of evidence. How do we know if we have proved something historically? Technically, we cannot prove a single thing historically. All we can do is give enough evidence of kinds I will mention in a moment to convince enough people, hopefully nearly everyone, about a certain historical claim. For example, that Abraham Lincoln really did deliver the Gettysburg Address, or that Julius Caesar really did cross the Rubicon. If you want to demonstrate that either historical event actually occurred, you need to marshal some convincing evidence. In neither of these particular cases, of course, is there really much doubt. Hold on. I wish I had that video handy. Now, I will look for it quickly because it's not a long video. I will play something while I look for a video from Bart Ehrman. So check it out. It's only 3 minutes long.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you're so busy frying it. That's why you're so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, with I'm black and I'm proud, You, we got to learn to be proud of kinks, because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black, but they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight.
Yes, sir.
Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, so you've heard Louis Farrakhan. That's from 1992. Dr. Yosef Ben Yochanan spoke out against that. Dr. John Henry Clark spoke out against that. Besides those two, nearly all Pan-African organization, and African-centered individual. Well, okay, I will stop there. Nearly all Pan-African organizations don't have anything to say about that. They don't condemn these statements. So as far as they're concerned, it's cool to teach that we are disfigured, that we are marked, that our phenotype is the essence of ugliness. Now, I found a video I was looking for of Bart Ehrman. Okay? So I will share it so we can all see that together. And indeed, he mentioned Julius Caesar and later on Pontius Pilate, and we will hear exactly what he said about those.
Did Julius Caesar exist? Did Cicero exist? Did Socrates or Aristotle or Mark Antony? Almost no one questions whether these people existed. So why is there so much controversy around the question, did Jesus exist? I can assure you, as a historian, that whatever else you might want to say about Jesus, he certainly existed. The historical Jesus may not have been the person that people imagine today, but he was a real person, and we can know some things about him. You don't have to believe that Jesus was the Son of God in order to accept the facts of history. And that's what I deal with in my book, The Facts. Skeptics like to say that we don't have the original texts of any of the Gospels of the New Testament, and we don't have any historical records of Jesus from his day. That's absolutely right, but it's also true of virtually everyone who lived at his time, including such powerful and important figures as Pontius Pilate, the governor of Judea, and Josephus, the Jewish historian.
Okay, so you've heard it. We don't have any records for Josephus. I'm like, all right. But Pontius Pilate, there is something called the Pilate inscription. Now, there is like one or two letters missing from his name. But besides that, nobody disputes. Well, I haven't heard anybody, any scholar, dispute that this is indeed a mention of Pontius Pilate that is contemporaneous or during the lifetime of Pontius Pilate. So everybody is free to look up the Pilate inscription. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to put an end to the live stream because there's no more questions and nobody calling in. A 10-year wrote the whole character is mythical and no records for Jesus. But now, they have that methodology like, okay, well, okay, we don't have any records for Jesus during his lifetime, but it's the same with so many other people for which we don't have any record, but their historicity is not disputed. That's their logic. That's their logic. All right. And also they have another slick thing is that, okay, he existed. It was not the same one that's mentioned in the Bible, doing all these miracles and all these extraordinary things happening. It was just a normal human being, and later on they basically made him bigger than he was, or more superhuman that he was, and so on. But the thing is that, you see, it's like me saying Superman never existed, but Peter Parker existed. You understand what I'm saying? This is just an analogy, but it's all good. It's all good. I have quoted Bart Ehrman, and I will continue to quote him. And then it's up to people to make their own conclusion. You understand what I'm saying? At least we know who the authors of the Avengers and Spider-Man, Batman. We know who the authors are. We know who wrote the books. But when it comes to the Bible, we don't know for many of the books. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you know what? I will leave right. I will leave right with some quotes. Okay. So, biblical facts. Share the link in the chat. So you will have it. And I will share the screen and quote a little bit. I have to make this larger. Beautiful. Okay. Now, check this out. Indeed, for the Bible, and that's Bart Ehrman, PhD. The reality is that we don't have the originals. Not only we do not have the originals, we don't have the first copies of the originals. We don't even have copies of the originals. We're all copies of the copies of the copies of the originals. But we have our copies made later, much later. In most instances, there are copies made many centuries later, and these copies all differ from one another in many thousands of places. There are more differences among our manuscripts than there are words in the New Testament. But Ehrman, in his book, Did Jesus Exist? The first quote was from misquoting Jesus, page 10. On Did Jesus Exist? But Ehrman wrote, the Gospels of the New Testament are not eyewitness accounts of the life of Jesus. We do not have any eyewitness report of any kind about Jesus written in his own day. And people think when they read the Bible that they are reading eyewitness accounts of people who were there. The apostles who saw, heard, and lived those events. George Dabilo wrote, you can't prove that something doesn't exist, but something of which we have no record may exist. Okay, I don't know what you mean, but it's all good. And regarding the authors of the gospel, in the same book, Did Jesus Exist? Bart Ehrman said, we do not know who wrote the gospels. Of the 27 books found in the New Testament, only 8 of them almost certainly go back to the authors to whom they are traditionally ascribed. Jesus' own followers were lower-class Aramaic-speaking peasants from rural Galilee who were almost certainly illiterate. The Gospels were written by highly educated Greek-speaking Christians who lived outside Palestine. They were not Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Oh my. I will stop there so you don't have any heart attack. Feel free, stay safe, stay healthy. I will holler back at you if I'm allowed to, Brother Necheru. Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. Et.